Hi, and welcome to the show. Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of A Cup of Joe and a Show. However, we're all lacking Joe and cups, actually, now that I think about it.
We have a can.
There is a singular can of Bang to
Not
provide.
sponsored.
Not sponsored. We should be, though. Today I'm joined by Jim.
Hi.
I'm Nick. I probably should have said something about that. And we have a special guest today, Hirito Walker.
Hello. It's nice to be here.
Jared Walker. Good friend of ours. Good movie producer. I'll link his works.
I'm flattered.
So, today's episode, I think the last time we did this, we said we would have a bigger, I think the next episode was going to be the anticipated films of 2020.
Yeah, but then that episode got magically lost.
Yeah, so fun fact, we actually recorded it, but the audio was unsalvageable.
episode.
Yeah, it's unsalvageable. So we came back with this one, which is actually a review of the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton. We just watched it, 10 minutes ago, max.
Yes.
Just got done watching it.
Might have been 11.
Maybe 12.
No,
11.5?
that's way too long.
Okay. But, so, first off, I just want to go with general overall thoughts on the movie. Just the movie.
So, having been alive when this first came out and having grown up with Michael Keaton and his Batman, and I haven't seen it in a very, very long time, it kind of still holds up. I still like it. For the longest time, it was my number one favorite Batman was Michael Keaton, right? And he probably still is by a very slim margin. So that's
Just a slim margin. What's your second?
Kevin Conroy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
how else? I mean,
Yeah. I thought you were talking about live action.
Pattinson if we're going live action.
Okay. I will say that this is actually my first time ever seeing the movie. It's decent. You can tell it was made in the 80s. And I enjoyed... I think Nicholson is a really creepy Joker. And I think he doesn't even have to try that much to be creepy.
No.
It's just his persona.
Famous for The Shining.
Exactly, right. You have The
mean,
Shining.
He's
has
got
all
it down
these,
pat.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll get into characters in a little bit. But the overall just movie, I mean, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not. I wouldn't watch it all the time. If it was on, I'd watch it again. But it's not my favorite Batman.
I kind of want to watch the second one now because I really, for the longest time, I always liked the first one more than the second one. But I think now, I'd like the second one more than the first one, just because of the Penguin and the kookiness of it. Tim Burton is kind of a kooky kind of a director.
Yes. Yeah. I'll make comments maybe about that later, depending on where we go. But yeah, Jared, what do you got for us over there?
This is my favorite Batman movie of all time. There is no second. There's not even a close call on me for this one. With Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson in the lead roles, it's just perfect. With Jack Nicholson, he's a perfect mix between what Mark Hamill would do in a few years with the animated series and what Romero did with the Adam West series. It's just it's spot on, exactly what I would want in a movie, and they haven't really been able to capture that magic since. But
they really do a really good casting choice in getting Keaton and Nicholson because they are kind of different sides of the same coin a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do like that. I mean, even in their costumes where, the Joker is more bright tones and purples and Batman's, black and, there's a little splotch of yellow.
He's very... The casting was done very well in the sense that, they got the name figures of the time for that, for that year, that time area, I guess, that could sell the parts. And they sold the parts. I'll say the acting is solid. I don't like the take on the Joker. That's my take with the Joker.
Sure.
In this, he's just too I don't know, he's friendly. And I grew up on the animated series, and I grew up on the like newer animated series, like the updated one. And in those, maybe not so much in the old animated series, but Joker's a really like you
Chaotic
see the
guy.
Joker and he like you run, and
Right.
people saw the Joker in this and they just kind of like sat there. And I get it because he's a new villain. They don't really know a lot about him, but he is like using guns, shooting people throughout the movie, and people just don't seem to like have this like fear of the Joker. And I feel like the Joker is a villain to be feared. Now, like Jared pointed out, Adam West's Batman, I don't think I'd fear the Joker. Yeah, but like that's a different style of Batman too. At the same
Well,
time.
and you can kind of see the progression because you do have a lot of it was Cesar Romero's, right? Was that the
Yeah,
actor
that's
Cesar
yeah.
Romero? You do have a lot of his kind of like mannerisms, even like the style and everything like that. And for the 80s, the mobster kind of mentality was kind of the the crime boss kind of thing was the thing. And he was that Joker, Jack Napier was the character's name. He's kind of been in the public eye anyway with a lot of the crime. So I mean, he's not just like Heath Ledger's Joker where he's new in town and nobody knows what to expect to him, and he does a magic trick with a pencil.
Right.
I mean, so and you kind of see that chaotic nature kind of evolve after Nicholson into Mark Hamill's Batman in the series. So that's I think the thing with the Joker is everybody has their own Joker. I mean, is Heath Ledger's, Mark Hamill's, Romero's. You got Nicholson's.
Jared Leto's.
Oh no, I forgot about Jared Leto's. But everybody's gonna have their own take, and I think it's it's one of those litmus tests of people's personalities. What's your favorite Joker, or what's your favorite I can't remember his name now. Anyway, yeah.
No, I agree. It's a personal thing.
Right,
It's
right.
just like, for me personally, I don't like that portrayal of the Joker. It's like, for me personally, my favorite portrayal of the Riddler is the newest portrayal by, I'm blanking on his name. Edward Norton?
No. It's Paul
Dano.
Paul Dano.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Anyways, I love that, like, very cryptic, disturbing.
Very
Sure.
real.
Yeah,
like Seven.
I like yes, exactly. I like villains to feel like an imposing threat more as just like maybe not a I won't say a laughing stock because I don't think the Joker in this film is a laughing stock by any means, but I like
He's
them to
definitely having
carry.
more fun with the role than
Yes, but it's not bad because I like his acting with it.
Well,
like
and-
he gives off the impression that he is just like nothing can stop him, right? Like he's just this like happy-go-lucky villain who is on top of the world, and I don't mind that portrayal. It's just not like how I want the Joker to be portrayed.
and that speaks to Jack Nicholson in the movie itself when he was behind the scenes. All of the mannerisms with his mouth and his movements with his hands, those were all him. There were no direction. Like, those are all ad-libbed. So when you see him do something really stupid, crazy, that you're like, why would he do that? That was just him in his own mind, being like, what would the Joker do?
Yeah, I mean, he acts crazy. And I mean, I think as the Joker, you have to act, like, obviously, different, well, and like you said, different, like, series and different directors have taken their own origin stories. So, like, you get to kind of pick and choose from all the different Hollywood perspectives. But the one I go with normally for Joker is he falls in the vat of acid, comes out, he's the Joker, right? And that, to me, I mean, that would probably drive you somewhat crazy if you survived something like that and had to process all that. Like, your mind couldn't do that, I would think. So I appreciated Nicholson's portrayal
Of
like-
losing his mind.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because he's
And,
pretty
like,
sane at the beginning. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
right.
he kind of loses it. And that's my issue with Heath Ledger's Joker. It's just, he seems too much like he's sane and just doing it for the theatrics. He never struck me as a guy who went crazy. He was just doing crazy things just to be edgy. I'm not saying that he did a really bad performance. It was a perfect performance. He did amazing. But it just wasn't how I see the Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Mark Hamill's and Jack Nicholson's really just put the whole, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, but it is seriously funny to him. He actually thinks that he's causing laughs.
Right. He's
With
like
Heath Ledger's, I just thought it was just, he thought it was funny but nobody else could get it. No one. He might have, but it was like ironically funny to him.
Mhm.
It was just more of a edgy chaos type deal, and that doesn't speak to me, but I see how it does for most people.
Yeah, I see, and I've never seen the Heath Ledger stuff, so I've lived
love
under a
it.
Batman rock, and I've heard it's really good. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad performance,
No,
by any
yeah.
means, but yeah, I don't know.
It's
It's
just a different take, and
it is. But like I said, if I had to award best acting throughout the movie, I would give it to Nicholson. I mean,
in
I think
a heartbeat,
Oh, definitely.
yeah, he's the best character portrayed. Keaton, I don't know how I feel about Keaton's Batman, to be honest.
He had an interesting Batman because
He feels awkward in the role.
he sort of like gripped the line between Batman and Bruce Wayne because he had the parties, he had the gala kind of thing, but nobody really knew who Bruce Wayne was. Like, because what was it? What was the reporter was like, well, who are you? And
Knox.
it's like Knox.
Knox, yeah.
Like, he's a reporter who knows everybody else in the party
except for
Bruce Wayne. Like,
Right.
But that also feeds to when they cast Keaton as Batman and Bruce Wayne. The public said, "Well, why are you doing that? I can't believe that he would be Batman."
they said the
But
same
that's
thing
the-
about Pattinson
That's
too.
the point, though.
True.
You want your Batman to not be recognizable as someone like the way that I could see Christian Bale's Batman and his Bruce Wayne. Like, oh, that's him. Like the whole.
I see what
idea
you're saying,
of
like, in
Michael
the
Keaton,
universe.
you could never put those two pieces together because they are totally different.
Now, I think if Keaton had a chance to go back and play Batman with like a newer, updated suit too, or something, I think it'd be a whole different story because I think he was very limited.
Cross our fingers for the Flash movie.
There you go.
I'm
he
still
was,
gonna hold on my anticipation for that one.
but
He's the only
I
thing
think
I like about that movie.
I think he's very limited in his costume because I mean, like we were talking about
Oh, yeah.
yesterday, and he's like has to like he has to turn his neck.
Well, you
Oh,
can,
yeah,
to, like,
you
see
can
the
kind of see it in the fight scenes.
Yes,
The
yeah,
thing
you
was
can.
molded to him so
Right.
tightly that he couldn't.
Yeah,
even-
and like
Right.
so, like the thing is, you can't really give a like he didn't do a bad job of acting. It's just like for the time, the technology
Right.
just wasn't there to do a
Right.
Batman like people wanted a Batman.
Right, you saw a lot of kicks and you saw a lot of arm movements hitting
Yes.
hitting the different
Yeah.
swords and everything like that, and yeah.
Yeah, you had the Adam West,
And
good
when he's
old, like-
flying through the air on the
How-
cords, he's very stiff and he's just kind of moving
Yes.
down the wire
Yeah.
because he has to be.
right, and it's not like I said, it's not anything
Right.
against that.
It's the sign of the times. Yeah.
But the
Vicky-
design for him his suit,
Oh, the suit was
the
good.
suit was fantastic.
It's
it,
good,
It had
yeah.
so many. Like I know the logo on his chest is not exactly the bat symbol. It is a little different than what it's supposed to look like, but
It pops a little.
you don't really notice that. And it's the same type of suit they used for the animated series, and most suits past this are all based a little bit on that. But as we've gotten farther, especially in the Joss Whedon Justice League type deal,
Yeah,
the suits got a little bit like Batman looked fatter in the suit. I want to say not. I'd never expect Batman to look.
That
really
might have
jacked and
been
fat. Like
that might have been what's his face's name? Ben Affleck too, wasn't he? Like he's Ben Affleck's kind of short and stockier too. Isn't
yeah, he is a short
Yeah.
stocky
Yeah.
guy. He's not exactly.
I mean,
like
Keaton when he's out of the suit, he's kind of lean.
yeah, he is for sure.
But when
I
you look
think-
at the empty suits between both of them,
Sure.
There's a scene in I think it's Batman v Superman or something where he looks at his empty suit and you can it looks huge. The head looks huge, and in this movie it looks thinner. It looks more form fitting, but that's just
Yeah.
limitations and stuff.
I like the
that.
cape.
No, the cape's good. I loved the entrance where the guys are like talking. Oh, like who's Batman? Like I don't know who that is. And like you just see in the background, like it wasn't like very prominent. If you just like caught your eye, he was just like coming down.
I like that
Yeah.
they didn't do much of an origin story for him. It's like, okay, there's this, there's rumor of a bat.
Mhm.
Right. There's not like this huge buildup or
Right.
anything. People have done that before, especially.
Right. Now they
But
did
it was new for the time.
Right. Yeah.
they
yeah.
did do a little explanation later on, but
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Explore the
It's a
character.
It's a nice exposition.
Yeah, get
Straight
into the
from the
grit
beginning.
of the film and then
Right.
explore. It's something that I think a lot of people don't actually do a lot anymore. They try to like have these origin stories like span the entire film, and it's like, I mean, you can answer questions about the thing. It depends on if you want like a prequel or you want like the actual movie. You know?
Right.
It all depends on the hero, because if you have a like Shang-Chi, like most people in the general audience don't know who that is, so you need to have a story. But like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man,
Yeah, like they
you
did
don't,
with the
you don't
new
need to
Tom
see
Holland
it for the
film.
300th time.
Yeah.
And I know when '89 came out, there was the only like real origin you saw was just in the comics, so you could have done it.
Right.
But I did like that they went for the. Oh, you think that's the Waynes? No, it's not. It's just some random people.
Right. Some hope.
Oh yeah, in the beginning. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was interesting.
It was it was refreshing now, but back then it had to be even more refreshing. Because every series, every new Batman series they put out in comics would always do the same.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know a lot about the comics. I just watch the movies and the shows for the most part. But yeah. Okay, so casting, I think we can all agree they
Casting's
did a
good.
semi.
Vicky Vale was pretty good.
Vicky Vale did do good. I mean, I was.
Her wardrobe varied drastically throughout that entire film.
What she had in the credits, there was one person that did all of the costumes for everybody else except her.
Yeah.
She had her own costume designer for her outfits only.
I feel like
And it
she
definitely
had.
shows.
I feel like she had a more diverse costume than just about anybody else. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when Bruce Wayne was Bruce Wayne, he was pretty much like Steve Jobs.
Turtleneck,
Yeah.
jeans.
Glasses.
right.
And Joker was always wearing pretty much,
The purple suit of
purple
some
and everything. Bob was
variation.
wearing the same thing. Knox
Oh.
was wearing the same thing.
Best secondary role goes to Bob
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. Rest in peace, Bob.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Spoilers. I gotta put
Alfred was
spoilers out at the
already in.
beginning
I
of
mean, it's in 1989. If you haven't seen 89 Batman, you're either Nick or the rest of the population. That
Okay,
hasn't
you
seen
know
Batman.
what? I don't fall into that category.
Now you
anymore.
can say that. Yeah.
But okay, what was the other thing? Oh, environment. What did you think of Gotham?
I think Tim Burton does a really good job making a really kind of creepy, gothic kind of environment in all of his films, and I think in this one he kind of really did a good job doing that. I think that was it set the whole pace of the film, and it was great to see like the Joker with his purples and everything popping against the gothic backdrop of Gotham. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
It felt really lived in.
Yes.
And like the way that there's been the people who made the animated series, they said that without this movie, they would have a totally different show than what we know. And that's because of Tim Burton's like crazy mind of putting this stuff together
Right.
and he didn't even make it all original. Like the Joker's outfits and stuff are all pretty loosely based on The Killing Joke, the way that Joker dresses in that book. And it's all, the really thin hats and the big overcoats and stuff. But what he did for his own, making the city so dark and scummy, it was really, really nice to see because no one else has really done that for any of the series. The Schumacher ones are very campy and light.
Neon.
Neon, and then the Christian Bale ones are all pretty normal.
They're kind of more realistic,
realistic,
than
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And then the new one is just constantly nighttime.
It is constantly.
And but it still has its own. Every single one I'll say has their own take, and that's just, even though some of the movies are horrible, it's refreshing to see a different take every single time.
We're looking at you, Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
and Batman Forever.
Yeah. I've never seen those, but I know the reviews.
If you really like campy films, like Arnold Schwarzenegger as a villain is pretty much exactly what you think as
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. Okay.
They're totally watchable.
Yeah,
Like, they're not good, but
you'll
they
have a
are
good time
definitely-
watching it with friends.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you want to spend like a Friday night just like watching,
Mystery Science Theater 3000 vibes.
Yeah,
like they'll make a joke
fun.
every time when they click their knees together and
Or they
the
say
ice
a
skates
bad-
come out of their feet,
or they say a bad pun.
Oh,
what
okay.
killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
The Ice Age.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I can see that.
Chill. He says so many of them.
Every
Uma
ice-
Thurman as Poison Ivy is pretty good. I mean,
Oh, okay.
albeit a little campy, but
Mhm.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones.
yeah.
I know for that movie that
Jim Carrey,
Jim
the Riddler.
Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones fought a lot. That's a lot of the issues with that movie because they were basically trying to play the same character, but they had to share the time, so they couldn't. They got angry at each other a lot, I guess.
I did kind of like that one. I mean, as like one of those guilty pleasure movies, because Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey in it,
Yeah,
right?
and he was
Like,
top of the world at that
and
point.
he was top of the world, Jim Carrey, and it got a little weird, but
His suit was weird though.
yeah, his suit was very weird.
I
He
love-
had an interesting commentary on modern day like television watching and
Mhm.
consumption. That was pretty good.
I did love his cane though. His
His cane was
nice.
good too. Yeah.
Well, his cane probably influenced not the animated series, but the Batman, which
Well, it's the one I believe it's the one from like in the '60s where it's like at the question mark on it and he just.
yeah. Have you
Yeah.
seen the newer animated one?
I haven't seen the new animated one. But I've
Oh,
seen
the
Batman.
Riddler that they do in that is very like
Nah. and
very emo-y.
Jim Carrey's got more spandex.
Oh no, not his suit, but his cane.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
cane is very like he uses a cane in that one too. But anyways,
Yeah.
the architecture from Gotham, I could directly see how that movie influenced the animated series. Like you
Mhm.
can't tell me it didn't.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
for sure.
there's just
Even the last scene where the bat signal.
Gargoyles and the-
yeah, the bat
Yeah.
signal, like all like just the architecture. When it first started off with the architecture, I didn't like it. It felt really weird and I don't know. To be honest, it felt wrong.
Sure.
As it went on, I enjoyed it more. It
Right.
it kind of grew on me more than anything. Like I don't know if it was just like how they had to do the buildings or something in the beginning, but some of it looked like it was not even like real buildings. Like
Was it painted scenery?
Yeah, a lot of it was matte painting. Some of
Yeah.
it was miniatures. Tim Burton doesn't with his effects. He likes to sometimes go a little different. That's why in the beginning, when you see Bruce turn around after he sees that family
Right.
get attacked,
That was
it
pretty bad.
straight up looks like the animated series.
Yes,
and at
yeah.
the very end, when he's looking at the bat signal in the sky, it
Yeah.
looks kind of like a matte painting.
Yeah.
And
Right.
but that's all Tim Burton's crazy mind of
And that was before
what he had in his
CGI.
head.
right,
Like,
like
that's-
for the
yeah.
time, I'm sure it was great.
Right.
I'll be right up honest. I'm not a Tim Burton fan.
Sure.
Oh, me
His-
neither. I'm not really. This is my only movie from him that I'm really just like deep in with.
I love Tim Burton.
It's just like you said, the strange mind. I
Sure.
don't think like that. Not that it's
Sure.
a bad thing to think like that, but I just like my mind when I think of like a movie. I just don't think of like that, like the crazy, like
Sure.
let's try all these different things out. Like I don't know. But anyways, so not that really influenced my decision, but it was just one of those things that when I learned about it, I was like, oh yeah, that explains why maybe I didn't care for some of the spots because I've like some of it because he did what's that Christmas movie that's actually a Halloween movie?
Well,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
he did,
Nightmare
but
Before
he
Christmas.
didn't do Nightmare Before.
He
That's
didn't direct it, but
yeah,
it's from his mind.
right.
Okay, yeah,
It-
because
it's-
there were some
It's
things
kind of like when James Patterson says, "Hey, you author, how about you go write this book and I'll put my name right across the top of it."
Okay, Ghostwriters.
Yeah, this is my idea.
Yeah.
Write a whole book about it, and I'll take half the credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
70%
See
of the
that's like
credit.
another movie by him that I just can't.
Sure.
I just can't
I
watch it.
love
I
Nightmare
don't like
Before
it either.
Christmas.
And like with
Hmm?
Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
Coraline.
Yeah.
It's
All
just
those.
like-
The only one from that like kind of animation that I can somewhat tolerate is
Edward
James and the
Scissorhands.
Giant Peach, which is strange because I just have fond memories of watching that at my grandparents' house.
Sweeney
Did he do that
Todd.
movie?
I don't know. I'm just saying like the animation
Oh, okay,
style of
okay.
like the Nightmare Before Christmas and James
The
the Giant
stop
Peach.
motion mixed with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that like weird capture. I don't know.
Mhm.
Anyways, but
Wednesday.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, but anyways, so.
Final
Yeah.
thoughts?
I already rated it. I don't know if you guys want to rate it. I gave it 6.5 out of 10. I think I said that earlier. It's watchable. Like it's not my least favorite movie ever.
I would
But-
say 7 too.
Okay.
Like it held up to
Expectations.
it held up to what I would expect a superhero movie back in the day to hold up with all the other superhero movies.
Exactly.
Like if I was to rank this movie with all the other DC films out there, it's one of the top tier. Like,
yeah,
definitely
that's
one
fair.
of the higher tier.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
even with all of their limited technology back in '89, it can't do what the Justice League or Batman v Superman did now. Like it was way above
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of those films.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd give it. I wouldn't give it a perfect score because there are some things that don't really work for me sometimes, but I would definitely give it a 9. And before we have to talk about real quick Danny Elfman's score for this movie.
The score's good.
It is like one of the most iconic. It's the Batman theme. Like if you talk to anyone and say, "What's the Batman theme? How's it go?" Danny Elfman's Batman theme.
No.
But
Copyright.
his theme was even reworked for the animated series for the intro to that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Joker's theme, I think it's Waltz to a Death. The title of it is exactly what happens in the movie. And it's one of his most... It's the way you can definitely tell that they were written for the character.
Mm-hmm. You're saying like it defined Batman. Like the score defined Batman.
The Batman theme, whenever I hear that, I'm thinking of the animated series and Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
Distinctively. And then when I hear this Joker theme, I think of him killing Carl Grissom at the beginning when he just losing his mind, spinning the gun all around, shooting behind his back, shooting over his shoulder. It's just, it puts me right there in the scene, and it never gets old to me.
Yeah, it's definitely an iconic score. I don't know if any other Batman's been able to capture that iconic score. I will say I really enjoyed the Batman's score.
Oh yes, I enjoyed that one too.
That score is really well done by.
I'm not sure who did
can't
that.
think of his name. It's something with Michael or MC, like the last name starts with a C, I think. Anyways, that score is really good. But I have to agree. I think before the Batman with Robert Pattinson and this one, in between that, I don't know if anyone's done a score that really defines Batman for me.
Michael Giacchino did the score for the Batman.
Oh, it's G, not C. Okay.
Well, you're close.
Yeah.
On the alphabet scale, you're only a couple letters off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right, because like even with the Batman score, I'm trying to remember the theme of Batman, and I know I can't remember it perfectly. But if you ask me what the Michael Keaton one is, yeah,
Right.
that
right.
pops into mind. Now it could be that I've been alive since '89, so I just
Yeah.
it's ingrained in my head as a child.
And it's gonna be
It's iconic.
34 years old next year, and
Oh, be gentle.
the Batman has only been out for
2
10 months.
Not even a year.
Yeah.
It came out earlier this year.
Came out like February.
I
20
know
something,
it doesn't
I think.
seem like that. It seems like it's way longer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn,
So I don't know.
2022.
That's my thought on the soundtrack for sure. It's a definitive soundtrack that defined a hero, to be honest.
Yes, and a generation for most comic book fans and superhero fans, kind of like the Spider-Man theme in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're very.
Oh, Nickelback. And they're watching us. Copyright away.
Oh, and shout outs to Prince for doing
Oh yeah,
some of the music in this movie.
Prince had some good music in it.
Prince
Actually,
did.
And it really didn't stick out. It really
He
fit the
left
scenes
his
that it was in.
print.
it worked because Jack Nicholson's acting
Yeah,
worked
played it
with
up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
If it had just been like Prince just covering over something going on, it would not have worked. But
No.
because he lived it up a little bit, it worked.
Mhm.
But all right, so I give it 6.5. We got 7 from Jim and a
9.
9 from Jared. That's been
It
the
holds
Batman.
up pretty well.
It's been the Batman 1989 review here on the Cup Jonah Show podcast. Hopefully we'll be back sometime. I don't know what we're going to do next, but we'll figure something out. We'll bring you another entertaining episode. So,
You want to let them know what's happening in your life? Because there's a big change coming.
no, we'll wait.
That's
We'll
the
get-
other podcast.
Yeah, we'll get another. We'll get another one recorded.
Tune into
before
the
then.
other podcast.
We'll get another one recorded. But yeah, from here, all of us here at the Cup Jonah Show podcast, it's been fun.
Stay caffeinated.
Always stay caffeinated. I like that. We're keeping that. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Hey everyone, we hope you enjoyed the episode today. If you did, you should go check out the rest of our episodes on our website at ccflugnutspodcast.com.
You can also listen to us wherever you find your podcasts.
Follow us on our Facebook and Instagram pages by searching the Lugnuts Podcast Group.
Thanks for listening, and remember, Jesus loves you, and so do we.